Hi everybody, it's Daphne and you're very welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming to spend some of your time with me today. Today I am going to talk about my top 3 products in 4 different categories, and I'm going to do a second installment in another video of another few categories of makeup products, because I know I talk a lot about different makeup products and maybe new products that I have been introduced to, or maybe some PR that I've received, but I thought it would be a very helpful thing to do to talk about my top 3 products in each category. So I've kind of split it up, and today I'm going to cover primers, foundations, concealers and powders, and then in the next video I will talk about your face products, blushes, bronzers, eyeshadows, eye products and lip products. So if you want to see what my top products are in the categories of primer, foundation, concealer and powders, just keep watching. So primers, I have kind of been on the fence about them for up to the last couple of years. I never really used primers until the last couple of years, and now I kind of wouldn't do my makeup without one. I've tried lots of different types. Some of them I've liked, some of them I haven't, but these are the 3 that I really enjoy. This one is one that you will have heard me speaking about before. It's the Carter Beauty Youth Boost Primer and Serum, and this is an Irish company. This is one for more mature skin, and it's a primer and a serum in one. It does have a kind of a little silicone feel to it. It comes out like a clear gel. You can just about see it there. And it does have a kind of a silicone feel. It leaves your skin feeling very smoothed out and ready for your makeup. It's got some lovely skin ingredients in it as well. So it has vitamin C, hyaluronic acid and vitamin E. So very skin caring ingredients in that, if, like me, you have more mature skin. And they are the ingredients that I would like to see in a lot of my products. My next favourite primer is from Catrice, and this is the Catrice 10. It's the 10 in 1, and I need my glasses to read to you. It's priming, hydrating, anti-wrinkle, natural glow, anti-pollution, anti-oxidation, pore minimizing, evens out skin tone, blurs imperfections, and it has a UV protection of 15, SPF 15. So it's the Tensational 10 in 1 Dream Primer. That's it there. It's a really good price too. I'm actually wearing this today. The all-in-one product for daily use, multi-perfecting and protecting glow primer with anti-pollution and age delay benefits. Now this is a really nice primer. It comes out with a slight tint. You can see it there. It doesn't really have a silicone feel to it, but it gives that feeling to your skin that it's well primed, well moisturized, and, as I say, ready for your makeup application, but it has all those anti-aging aspects to it, and I really do enjoy that. The 10 in 1 Tensational from Catrice. And my third product in this category is, and these are not in any order of preference, this one is the Sculpted by Aimee. It's the Beauty Base Protect. Now I'm nearly out of this. That's what it looks like. I have cut it in order to get what's left in it out. And Sculpted by Aimee do a glow primer as well. They also do an oil control primer. They have two or three finishes in the glow primers, and those all have SPF 30 in them. But this one is called Beauty Base Protect for a reason, and that's because it has the SPF of 50 in it. Now, so it does everything. It has your primer, it has your moisturizer, which the other two don't have necessarily. This is a moisturizer as well, and it has your SPF. So I'm just going to show you. I don't have much of it left, but I will be able to show you some. So it comes out, it does have a slight tint, as you can see, a little bit like the Catrice one, but it has a different feel. It's very moisturizing, it sinks in really well, and it really leaves your skin ready for makeup. And you have that added benefit, which is so important, of a high SPF. This is nearly up finished, as you can see. That's what's left in it, and I will be repurchasing this. But I think I've said before, because you all know, if you've watched me before at all, you know I love this brand. I absolutely love this brand. I'm in no way affiliated to it. I'm this is not paid content or sponsored content or anything. I really believe in these products. It's an Irish brand as well, and it is one to watch. But all of these products from Sculpted can be recycled. So if you cut your tube, and when you're finished it completely, rinse it out. And I have a little bag here, actually just do happen to have it, of my Sculpted empties. They will all go back to Sculpted by Aimee, and they will all be recycled, because sometimes the pumps or the tubes inside them you can't just recycle them in your local recycling. They will all be recycled, and you can earn Sculpted points. I think you have to have 5 or 6, a bit like Back to Mac. You have to have 5 or 6, you send them back and you earn your points. They are redeemable against other products. So they're my top 3 in my primer category. So moving on to foundation. I am very picky about foundations, and a bit like, I suppose, everybody, I like a wardrobe of foundations, because I don't always want the same level of coverage every single day, and I'm not going to use the same foundation every single day. So what I have here, I know I said top 3, but I've kind of massaged this a little bit. I am including 4. The first one is the Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. Now I have this about 2 years. It's well used. As you can see, I'm probably about halfway through, because I don't use it all the time. It's probably what I would consider to be my good foundation. Do you have one of those? This one is in the colour Bisque. Unfortunately, this particular one has been discontinued because they've introduced a new foundation. And I'm so disappointed, because this is absolutely beautiful, and it was €40. So for a high-end foundation, that's a pretty good price. This has the added benefit of having a primer included in it, so you don't need to use a separate primer. And I have tried it without a primer, and it does work very, very well. You need very, very little of this. A tiny amount goes the longest way. I mean, literally, that amount will give you such wonderful coverage. It's very creamy. It doesn't feel heavy. It sits well in the skin. It lasts really well, because I have found over the years, look at that coverage, very difficult to find a foundation that is full coverage that actually stays on my skin. It's like as if my skin drinks it in. Now maybe that's in years past, because I wasn't using a primer, but this one really, really lasts well on my skin. It's a really good colour match for me, and I highly recommend it, although I am sorry to say that it is discontinued, but I'm sure you can find it on some. I will link it. My next foundation choice, and again, these are not in any order of preference, this is from an Irish company called AU, and this is the Perfect Skin Foundation. I'm in light medium 2, and this costs about €32. I absolutely love this foundation as well, and I'll just demonstrate. There's the Vanish. This is full coverage too. You don't need an awful lot. It's a really good colour match for my skin, because I'm quite pale. That kind of warms up my skin. This is a little bit paler. It has a different texture, but it gives wonderful coverage as well. Now, look at that coverage. It's beautiful. It really is a beautiful foundation. It lasts really well on my skin. Doesn't clog pores, doesn't sit into lines. Again, it's probably one I wouldn't use every single day, because it's slightly heavier coverage, but it's a wonderful makeup to have in your wardrobe. Highly recommend it. My third and fourth choices in this section, because I couldn't leave the fourth one out. This is another Sculpted product, and it is the Second Skin Foundation. This one is the Dewy, and I'm in the colour Fair 2.0. This is exactly what it says. It's a second skin. So it's a light to medium coverage foundation, although it's very buildable, and it's actually a very popular foundation for brides here in Ireland. A lot of makeup artists would use this. It's really well priced. I think it's €27. You've got 32 ml in that. It also comes in a matte finish, and I can't even tell you the number of shade choices. There's so many shade choices, so you should have no difficulty in finding a shade to suit your skin. When I'm not tanned as it's coming out of summer, I don't tan as often. I would definitely take my foundations down a shade, and this is a really, really good shade match for me. So I'll put a little on my wrist so that you can see. I'll put too much out now. That's what it looks like, and it's a lovely velvety finish. It's light. It's a mineral foundation as well, so it's good for your skin. It's not going to clog your pores, but it gives you the coverage. And if you look up the reviews for this online, you will be blown away. Look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And if you don't particularly like a dewy finish, they do a matte finish as well. So that's a staple. I don't know how many of those I've gone through. That's a staple in my makeup bag. So the Second Skin Dewy Finish Foundation. Now my little extra in this category is also a sculpted product. This is the Sculpted by Aimee Tint and Glow. This is literally at its end. I'm in the colour 3.0 and this is a skin enhancer. Now, I've used skin enhancers before. I've used tinted moisturizers before. This is unlike anything I have ever used. This gives beautiful coverage, but it's just like a veil. You can still see your skin. It just gives it literally, I can't explain it except that the name itself is just so aptly chosen. It's a tint, but it gives you a glow as well. And this lasts so well on my skin. I have cleaned off my hands so I can show you. I'm literally at the end and I'll have to be repurchasing this. It's slightly darker than the shade in Second Skin, but it just suits my summer colour, but also I wear it in winter because it's very blendable. So there you go. It's very lightweight, but it blends out beautifully, and look at the coverage you get. It's just like a veil. It really is beautiful. It's not a heavy coverage foundation, but I used that right through the summer. Actually, I used it right through last summer and partly through the winter sometimes, and I used it all through the summer as well, and it's just empty now. That's about €25 and you get 40 ml in that. That's why it lasted so long. It's absolutely beautiful and I wouldn't be without it. Like I say, I've used tinted moisturizers before, I've used skin enhancers before. I have never used a product like this. It's absolutely beautiful. So my next category is concealers, and I've tried so many different concealers because I struggle quite a bit with under eye circles. Not so much with, I'm not too concerned with, lines, laughter lines, we all have them, but I am concerned about the darkness under my eye. So I've picked out my three that I reach for on a regular basis. So my first one I used a lot over the summer because it's slightly darker and it went really well with my summer shades. This is from Inglot, you can just about read it there. It was from the Maura Higgins collection and it is an Endless Beauty Wand. This one is in the colour Aria Glow. Now to me it's quite a thick consistency, and I'm literally at the end of this as well. I have it on today. It's quite a thick consistency. Pop it here where I haven't got Tint and Glow. So what I do is I just pop it on just in the area where I need that coverage, and I let it sit for a few seconds, up to a minute, and then I will pat it in, and it gives just beautiful coverage. It's a good colour match for my foundations. I find it goes with a lot of them. But you can see there's good coverage in that. It's really well priced, very easy to use. It's, sometimes concealers like that can be quite runny and liquidy. This one isn't. It really gives good coverage. So that's the Inglot Endless Beauty Wand in Aria Glow. The next one is from Note Cosmetics, and it's the BB concealer. It's an advanced skin corrector, so you're getting skin correcting pigments in it to help with any discoloration. And I think, let's see what colour I am in, the colour 02. Now this one has a little applicator, the little metal applicator. Sorry, it's not very clean. So you can apply it directly to the area. Now I don't tend to do that. I just like to use my hand as a palette. So if I just squeeze a little out, It's not playing ball with me. There we go. A nice creamy consistency as well. Quite similar actually to the Inglot Endless Beauty wand, but gives really, really good coverage. It's slightly paler, but I find it covers those dark circles really, really well. It's quite creamy, so it's moisturizing. I'm not going to say the concealers don't ever settle, because I think if you have mature skin and you have fine lines or wrinkles of any kind, you're going to get settling of product. That's just a fact, but you can actually limit it by patting them in using the warmth of your finger to make it melt into your skin. So that's a really good one as well. You can see it gives really good coverage. And the little metal applicator is cooling if you have any puffiness on your eyes. It's a really good one as well. Now my third choice for concealers, and again these are not in any order of preference, they're just ones that I would reach for on a regular basis, is, believe it or not, it's a Sculpted by Aimee, and it's the Brighten Up Under Eye Liquid Concealer, and I'm in the colour Ivory. Now this has a little doe foot applicator as well. It's slightly more liquidy than the other two. I think when I'm buying it again, I will buy a slightly different shade, but it's because it's quite pale, but it is a brighten up concealer. So you could actually put a colour corrector underneath it, or you can use it directly on its own. I do both. I do both, but you can see there it gives good coverage, and if I apply this, it lifts that area, brightens it up, hence Brighten Up Liquid Under Eye Concealer. It's a lovely light formula, it's buildable, and it really works. So again, one of my favourites to turn to on a regular basis. So my final category for this video is going to be powders. I have 2 setting powders and 1 finishing powder, and these are powders that I use on the daily. The first one is Sculpted by Aimee. This is their Velvet Veil Invisible Loose Setting Powder. So this came out in the earlier part of the year, and it comes in with its little mirror and its little dispensing mechanism here. Now I would use this if I feel that my foundation needs setting all over. I don't do that every single day, but if I was to do it, this is the one I would use. It's very finely milled, it's mineral based, so it's not going to clog your pores, it's good for your skin, it's really well priced as well. I think it's, I'm going to say €25, but I'll link it. Lasts a lot. I have that since January, I think, maybe February, I can't remember exactly, but way before the summer, and it's lovely and light. It doesn't interfere with the colour of your makeup at all. You can use it under eye, you can use it all over, and that's, as I say, if I feel that my foundation needs to be set, that's the one I turn to. This is also Sculpted by Aimee. It's the Velvet Veil Invisible Pressed Setting Powder. Now this was the first one that they introduced, and it's a small one. This has, I think, 12 grams in it, but they've just launched the larger one. Now I use this for under eye. Now I do use it on other parts of my face as well, but predominantly I use it for my under eye. It has its own little mirror, and as you can see, I have hit pan, and can you just see it there? It's so finely milled. It's a translucent powder. It doesn't, as the other one is as well, it doesn't change the colour of your makeup, doesn't interfere. But when you apply it to your under eye, and I have applied it today, I'll pop a little more on so maybe you can see better. It's so finely milled that it just gives that airbrushed finish, and it really helps your under eye concealer to stay in place and not crease. Now if I felt that I would get a little bit of shine on my T-zone, and that's where I would have wear away of my makeup, you'll have heard me say that before, I would pop it onto those areas. As a matter of sort of routine, I would do that on the daily. I might not necessarily powder the rest of my face, but I will definitely powder around there, and it's just so light. And it's small enough to pop it in your bag, so they do have the 2 options. And I know a lot of people like to carry a powder for touch-ups. That's a perfect little size. So they're my 2 for kind of setting. Now my finishing powder is one that I have been dying to get my hands on for a long time, and my 2 boys bought it for me for my birthday during the summer, and it is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Infinity Powder. Now I didn't get the one that has the 3 pans in it. I went for the marbled one. and that's what it looks like. It has this little mirror, and I have used this most days and I barely touched it. I barely made a dent in it. Oh, I just adore this because when you apply it, it literally diffuses the light. It just airbrushes your skin. It's really, really gorgeous. You use so little, that's actually going to last quite a long time. And again, I'll do a little demo. What I do, it's not a setting powder, so you don't use it under your eyes. I just go into it very gently like that, tap off any excess, and then I just sort of cross my cheekbones and my nose, chin, and a little on my forehead. And it just, I think it gives a beautiful airbrush finish to my makeup, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to say I try not to use it every day, but I don't really. I do use it. It's there to be used, and because I've made such a small dent in it, I'm going to use it on the regular basis, and it will be on my list for, you know, anybody wants to know what can we buy for your birthday, Mom, or what can we buy for Christmas. That will be one of them. So there you go. They are my top 3 products in those 4 categories. As I say, my primer, foundation, concealer, and powders. They are the products, they're not in any particular order of preference, they are just the products that I reach for on a regular basis when I'm doing my makeup. So let me know what your top 3 items or your top item in each category is. I'd love to know. Maybe there's something I haven't tried yet. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, maybe you would think of hitting that subscribe button, and the little notification bell beside it will let you know when I upload a video, which at the moment I have been aiming for 2 videos a week, and so far I've been doing it. So let's, fingers crossed, that continues. So thanks so much for watching. It was lovely to have you here, and I will chat to you soon in the next video. Bye.